Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk a bit more about kind of handling and the way I handle my snakes. I've had a few people ask me just about picking a snake up, so I'm going to give you a couple of things that will help out with that. So when it comes to these guys, the worst thing you can do is go from above to pick them up. You know, while they're curled up like this, you know, he's got his face away from me. So the best thing I can do is come in from the back and pick him up like that. You know, and he's going to be a lot more appreciative than seeing something come down from the top, because that is going to scare him. You know, he might think, oh, it's a big animal coming down to, you know, eat me and kill me. If you feel like your snake's stiff and stressed out, don't instantly put them back. If you pick them up and they're feeling stressed out and you instantly put them back, they learn that, all right, I feel stressed when this person's holding me, basically. So, you know, hold them and give them time to relax. So, you know, when you first pick them up, you might feel that they're a little bit stiff, you know, and a little bit tense. And just wait. Just have some patience. And over time, they'll, you know, loosen up, calm down a little bit. And then if you want to put them back, that's the time to put them back, is when they're calm. Because they'll learn that you're not a stressor to them. And, you know, and you'll eventually have a snake that's more chilled out and willing to, you know, wanting to adventure around a little bit more, be a little bit more active. And these are ball pythons, so, you know, they're slow movers. They like to sit and chill more, and, you know, they're not massively active. But, you know, you move with them and, you know, you move slow with them. You don't need to move fast with these guys. Now, I have a different snake to show you, and I deal with him a little bit different. Now, in this tub, we have Sean, who is a gopher snake. These guys are known for being more defensive when it comes to, you know, so with a ball python will ball up and maybe hiss at you. Gopher snakes are known for more kind of, I guess, aggressive defensive. They're not being aggressive, but it comes across a lot more aggressive. They're a lot more intimidating when they're being defensive, so you'll get a really, really loud hiss. You know, they'll fault strike at you. Mine does bite sometimes. I've not had a bite off him for a bit, but you never know. Anything with a mouth can bite. Anything with a mouth and teeth, yeah. So, and they also, you know, they'll S up, but they'll also stand up. They'll have that S to them, but they'll stand up to you. When being defensive. So with this guy, I use this because it's just easier to scoop him up with. Otherwise, I'd just use my hands. But with this guy, he will probably hiss when I go to pick him up. Now, I handle this guy differently. I'm just going to show you. So there's that hiss. And I don't blame him. I'm disturbing him, you know. Let me get this out of here first. Actually. So his face is over here, but to me, he can whip around quite quick, to be fair. So, but, you know, but you're still gentle with him. And we're getting that hiss. There's that hiss. So with him, when he's hissing, I'll go near his face. And this is his, you know, for me, because of the way I'm with him, he knows that if I'm going near his face, it's nothing to worry about now. He knows that now. He didn't before. And, you know, I don't get the hiss that I used to get off him. I used to get a loud hiss. He'd S up, he'd fault strike at me, he'd bite me. I just started going near his face and, you know, stroking his face. If you don't want to get bit, and this is to stop him from being as head shy and bitey. I don't have that issue with my ball python, so I've not had to do this with them. But, you know, if you don't want them to bite you, maybe wear a pair of gloves and, you know, just every now and then just touch the face. And, you know, and the best time to do it is when they're already pissed off, because you don't want to piss your snake off when it's calm. When your snake is calm, that's when you want to have your good interaction with it, you know, and just move with it. If you are going to fuck with its face while it's calmed down, it will learn that you are a stressor. But if you do it when it's already pissed off and, you know, it's hissing at you and you're messing with its face, it learns then to, it's like a child, it learns not to kick off, and kicking off isn't going to get it what it wants. So kicking off isn't going to get it put back into its little home. Kicking off isn't going to stop me being around its face. being calm does. So he's learning that, and he's learnt this extremely quick. He learnt this. So his hissing, his defensiveness, it all calmed down within around 2 days, and he just keeps getting better each day. You know. Before I couldn't put my hand in front of his face like this. Before he would S up, bite at me, and he'd be rattling his tail. I've not seen him rattle his tail in a long time. He hasn't done that for ages now. That's all it is. It's just learning. You've got to teach them, but they're not people, so you can't talk to them. You've got to actually teach these snakes, and you'll be able to have a good relationship with these snakes. It's just time, and you've got to dedicate some time to them if you want to be able to interact with them. Especially if a guy like this, who was hissy out of the box, right? Hissy and defensive and bitey out of the box. If you want to be able to interact with a guy like this, you are going to have to put in some time and effort with them. Otherwise, you're not going to have the relationship with the snake that you want, to be able to handle them and that type of shit. It's all about time and effort. And look at this guy now. He's a lot more calmer. He's chilled. Like I say, I can touch his head, and he's fine. It's all about spending the time. Learn it yourself. Learn these techniques yourself. There's plenty of ways online. That's how I learned. I learned by watching, watching YouTubers and reading things up and dedicating time into learning about these animals and how to handle them. Now, like I said, all I had was ball pythons that were all friendly. I'd never had a defensive snake until I got this dude. Now, he was my first defensive snake, and, I'd hold him 15 minutes minimum every day, and he wouldn't go back until he calmed down. I would not put him back until he calmed down. Now I started doing the face touching, and he's learning that kicking off is not his way to get what he wants. If he wants to go home, he has to chill out. And if I'm putting him back and he hisses, he comes back out. And when he hisses at me, I touch his face. So I also want to have him where he's able to be handled by other people, and I don't have to worry about him, being defensive or biting. Now, hissing, that's one thing, but biting is another. So I'm just trying to get him into the point where if he's thinking about biting, I need to intervene with that. And so when I can tell he's, getting ready to bite, sometimes I can't, I'm not the best at reading it, but a lot of times I can tell. So when I can tell he's about to bite, I will just push my hand into his face, like this. I'll just do this, and I'll just keep it there like that, and he'll calm down. He'll stop hissing. He'll calm down, and I can handle him like this again. So he knows, right? If I'm about to bite or hiss or be defensive, I get a big fist in my face. It doesn't hurt me, but I get a big fist in my face, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna stop. So he's learning this. He does hiss every time I get him out. This is just to show you how I work with my animals. And, hopefully it can help you with yours, because we all just want the best for our animals, and we want to be able to interact with them. Why wouldn't you want to interact with this guy? Look at him. Look how fucking cool he is. He looks like an angry frog. Anything that I pick up that I can, share, I'm going to do that. I'm going to share it, because I love animals. Animals, especially my snakes. My snakes bring me some type of peace. And they calm me down. I just find it very relaxing and calming. So I want to be able to interact with my animals. I love animals, especially snakes. So if I find information that I can pass on, like I say, I'm going to pass it on, and I'm going to let him go home. So that's where he wants to go. He wants to fuck off home. And, like I say, he's calm now. He's calmed down, and I'll let him do that. Oh. Yeah, all right, Sean. Chill out. I'm going to put his plants back in. But yeah, there you go. Not too quick. I guess it's quick depending on how I edit it. But, I'll try and cut it down to as short as possible. But there you go. There's how I handle my snakes. Just a quick, not in-depth talk about it, but yeah, there you go. This has been Rat Raps. Bless up, man. Fuck,